My name is Amy Tarpey, and I am the Senior Advisor for Nutrition Programs at Quorum CVS Specialty Infusion. My role is to ensure that our programs related to TPN and tube feeding meet the needs of our prescribers and our consumers. Quorum has partnered with the Oli Foundation for many, many years, and one of the reasons we do so is that the Oli mission of enriching consumers' lives through education and advocacy really aligns well with our mission at Quorum CVS Specialty Infusion, which is to put patients on their path through better health. And as a dietitian myself, I truly believe that one of the keys to really having a long and productive life while still administering TPN or tube feeding is really understanding the ins and outs of therapy, being able to connect with others, whether they're prescribers or other consumers, to be able to learn more about how to make changes that can really impact your quality of life. As a corporate sponsor, there are many benefits, but I would say the most valuable one is being able to meet consumers face to face. So in my role, I don't often have that opportunity to do it, but participating in the Oli annual conference and going to some of the regional conferences really allows the opportunity for myself and then some of the clinicians that I work with who only see patients at the beginning or the start of care to meet with consumers and really get a chance to talk to them once they've been on therapy for months or years. And that helps us to really gain a better understanding of what the consumer needs to be successful at home on TPN or on tube feeding. So I would say that's the greatest benefit. But there are other benefits as well. We really enjoy being able to have access to this audience of consumers for surveys. If there's something that we need to know about the consumers for either TPN or tube feeding that will help to inform our programs, that's a great benefit, as well as being able to have ads in the Oli Lifeline newsletters and in the program here at the Oli Annual Conference. Quorum CVS Specialty Infusion sponsors the Oli Foundation annually through the Corporate Sponsorship Program. And in addition to that, we participate in the Oli Annual Conference, and oftentimes we'll attend the regional conferences as well to be able to support those. One of the greatest things that we're happy to participate in when we can is sponsoring the consumer webinars. We find that's a great opportunity for education of consumers, and we find that's a great way to support Oli. The thing that I find most meaningful about Oli is the opportunity to actually interface with some of our consumers and have an impact on their lives directly, even just little things that occur at some of the conferences. So for example, I was recently at a regional conference and we encountered a consumer who had a broken catheter. And at that conference, we were able to connect her with a nurse who was able to get her connected with the care that she needed. And that might not have happened otherwise. So I find that to be the most meaningful, is just making these connections and then being able to connect consumers, sometimes with the care that they need or with a unique resource that they might not have known about. Personally, for me, working for a home infusion provider like Quorum CVS Specialty Infusion, one of the ways I see a meaningful difference is through the Oli equipment exchange. So we often encounter consumers who don't have insurance coverage for all of their therapy, and the equipment exchange really helps to benefit them in that they're able to get donated products, supplies, or formula through Oli that they might not otherwise have been able to afford purchasing it directly if they don't have the insurance coverage for it. So that's very meaningful. And then, sometimes, for example, at the annual conference, I'll have the opportunity to talk to a consumer who tells me a story about how one of our Quorum CVS nurses or dietitians has really touched their lives and made a difference. And that's really meaningful to me as well, to know that my team is really helping these consumers in a really unique way. Oli has been helpful to me to have the opportunity at some of the networking events and conferences personally to meet some of the prescribers that I wasn't familiar with who are taking care of some of our Quorum patients, to be able to connect with them on a personal level and get to know them a little better. It's also helpful for us as an organization at Quorum CVS Specialty Infusion to be able to connect patients who are new to TPN or to tube feeding with the support that Oli provides for the consumers. So that's been one way it's been really helpful. The Oli Foundation has changed the world of tube feeding and TPN and made it a better place for TPN and tube feeding consumers. Join Oli and change your world.